Alright, let's talk about where we went wrong. Had fun. Rat stock was awesome. Pretty well built this thing in 30 days, maybe a little bit over if you consider the time I spent doing the chassis stuff about 6 or 7 months ago. But we made it all the way there. We could not get brakes on this thing. Didn't have time to test drive it. And as you can see, there's a lot of brake fluid down in the floor. So I'm gonna say the first place we went wrong was welding that dash in. Because when you weld the dash in, well, you can't get to that master cylinder at all. So we were gonna try and change the master cylinder on the side of the road on the way to the show. But it is stuck in between the dash and the firewall, so you can't get that thing out of there. Got all new lines ran for the brake system, and of course it's Corvette. Disc in the front, disc in the back. As you can see, we got some details to work out right there. You know, some little this and that's, the backs of the doors. You can see this big ass gap right here. Yeah, we got some things to do, some stuff to do. And really we need to do that stuff probably in another 30 days because it's got to be somewhere, which of course is going to be a stretch, even though we put the whole car together. Sorry about the hand. We put the whole car together relatively in 30 days, but I invested probably anywhere from 12 to 18 hours a day for the past 30 days while the guys have been working in the shop, on this crew cab, on the Nash, on all this other stuff, keeping the shop afloat while I work hours. Red light's weird. While I work hours on that rat rod. You know, basically we spent a bunch of time, and I mean we failed to compete. You had to drive that rat rod 60 hours. You had to drive 60 hours. What the It's early in the morning here in Memphis, Tennessee. Anyways, you had to drive that thing 60 miles. And I was going to drive it anyways, even with the brakes being super sketchy. And when I say sketchy, I mean super sketchy. We don't really know what the master cylinder came off of that we put on there. We're not 100% positive. But, you know, bore size, you can go through all of that. And maybe the bore size is right, maybe it's wrong. I'm going to say the number one thing that we screwed up on when it comes to the brakes is we had no proportioning valve, no residual valves in line, no nothing. We just hooked lines straight to the master cylinder and hope for the best. And of course, anybody that messes with cars, hot rods, knows that if you don't have a proportioning valve, you better have inline residual valves, or the brakes don't work worth a shit. And that's exactly what happened. The brakes do not work. I was going to drive that thing anyways. That is a weird looking bug. I don't even know what that is. I was going to drive it anyways. We worked on it, like say, all night in parking lots on the way, and probably, I don't know, 35 or 36 hour straight 7.5 hour drive, but we kept pulling over trying to fix things on the way because it wasn't 100% finished. All the way up until I think the driver's meeting was at 10 a.m. and at just before that, in the field right beside the rat stock thing, we were out in the field trying to fix that thing and make it go. And all the way up until the driver's meeting, the last straw was I was driving it around in the field readjusting things, trying to get as much brakes as humanly possible, and which was little to none. Even changing the position of the rod because it's adjustable, but just couldn't get valid brakes. Went to go drive it to the driver's meeting anyways. I was going to drive it with little to no brakes, and things started spewing coolant out, which made me turn around and drive it back. I figured it was an air bubble in it. You know, it's an LS, and it has a really small radiator on it. The radiator's kind of down lower than the cooling system, so I figured that was probably it. Drove back, kind of half pulled it on the trailer so that the front would be kicked into the air, and by that time it was about 10:15, and the driver's meeting had already started. So at that point it was like, screw it, we're not going to make it, which turned out to be a blessing in disguise, because Tony was pulling that thing around from the silo area, and there was a little rubber ring that had gotten left in there from the original air filter we tried to fit, and it got stuck in the butterfly, and the throttle got stuck wide open. Tony wound up having to spin the thing out to keep from running into an RV and kill it. So that tells me that if I had driven it with very little to no brakes on the road, that probably would have happened to me on the road. We have super sticky, like, street racing tires on that thing. If that thing would have pinned wide open, I would have either messed up somebody's car or probably seriously injured myself. So all things happen for a reason, is what it is. But now we got another 30 days before this thing has to be to a different show, and I would like to get some of the details that we had to rush over worked out, and actually get the thing where we can drive it validly. So we'll see how it goes, because I've been putting off doing shop things for about 30 days. So I got to get after all the stuff in the shop and jump in and help these guys out. So yeah, it'll probably be the week before the show, and I'll be trying to bust all that stuff out, because you know, I got work to do here at the shop. I got customer stuff to work on. So anyways, that's pretty much what happened. I didn't record a lot at Ratstock because you know, like I said, 35, 36 plus hours straight. I was pretty well devastated, not because we couldn't compete, just worn slap out. So the Friday that we were supposed to do that drive, once it didn't make it, I had a piece of steel in my eyeball, in that eye, for a couple of days. So I wound up going to an eye doctor and getting that stuff drilled out of my eye, and finding a hotel and taking a nap for about 4 hours before I got back to the show. So we had a blast. Ratstock, super cool. I'd like to go back this coming year. They will not be doing a build off this coming year, thank God, because that means I won't be influenced to do another build off. That'll be the year after, but next year they do a tour, so hopefully we can have this thing, everything ironed out and it in the road, some miles on it, and then maybe take it and do the tour. But anyways, all you guys at Ratstock, thanks for having us. We appreciate it. Everybody that we met there, it's good meeting you guys, and we're going to keep going, and now we're going to get our asses busy on business, the stuff we need to be doing. So you guys have a good day. We'll see you next week. Bye.